Welcome back to Good Day Colorado. Valentine's Day tomorrow. So we thought, we would focus on couples. Couples trying to concentrate on how to make each other happy in this cooperative relationship of meeting each other's needs. Yeah, right. Well, for many couples, the only way to stay happy is to sleep apart. We're seeing more and more of this here. It's a trend, whether it's due to someone snoring, children, maybe a big fight before bed. Sleeping solo puts a huge strain on your relationship and your sex life. I didn't realize this was as big a problem as we're finding out. Well, joining me this morning to talk about this, and we want to welcome her, some possible solutions, and your phone calls at 566-7600 is Lisa Thomas. She is a marriage and sex therapist. Welcome to Good Day Colorado.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you here.
Everybody.
Well, we had this big story last week about couples not sleeping together because of snoring.
Absolutely.
But it goes beyond that.
Well, it really does. The National Sleep Foundation put out a survey in 2005 asking how many people really are sleeping alone, how many married couples, and they found that about 30% of married couples or couples in a committed relationship are sleeping separately, keeping separate bedrooms for a number of reasons. Much of a couple that you had mentioned, sometimes snoring, sometimes children, but the real problem and the real issue becomes when couples are sleeping separately because they want to sleep separately. When couples don't have physical intimacy, that can lead to problems within the marriage.
Well, that seems just on the face very strange. I mean, you're married, you're committed to each other, and yet you choose to sleep separately.
Absolutely.
I mean,
marriage itself, what makes marriage different, in a marital relationship, different than any other relationship, is there's a sexual component, and oftentimes you're sharing a bedroom, you're sharing living quarters.
So when people come into your office and they say, well, is that one of the first questions you ask?
I do ask. I ask about typical days, like tell me a typical day, and I do ask where everybody sleeps, because it's a very telling question that if couples are sleeping separately, I want to know why that's what's going on, why that's happening.
Well, the proverbial doghouse or the sofa after an argument. My wife and I try to live by the don't let the sun go down on your anger.
Yeah.
But at times, it's just tough, and we haven't had one of those in a long time.
It is tough.
For a couple weeks. No, I'm kidding. So what advice do you give on how to, if you're sleeping apart, how to come back together?
How to come back together, and that's really the key question. There's two basic components to a relationship. There needs to be an emotional intimacy component and a physical intimacy component. If couples aren't sleeping together, if they're not in the same bedroom, if there's not any physical intimacy, they need to figure out a way that they can have physical intimacy even if they're not sleeping in the same bedroom. For example, having physical touch outside of the bedroom, or they need to get comfortable enough being able to just say, hey, let's maybe initiate, and then that contributes to maybe going into the bedroom even if they don't stay in the bedroom.
It's okay to verbalize, hey, I need you.
Absolutely.
And to say that.
Yeah, and that's a big component. I think that people aren't very comfortable. Sex is one of the most intimate things that a couple can do, and oftentimes there's zero communication about it, what we're doing. People, aren't asking for what they want. They're afraid to communicate to their spouse what they like.
The unspoken expectation, though, it's like, hey, you should jump my bones and.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let's take a call or two. Again, 566-7600, 303. John is on the line. John, you're on with Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, John.
Hi.
What's your question?
I got a question. Me and my wife do sleep together, but we got a really big bed, and she makes a point to separate us with pillows, and sometimes I'm always telling her I have to hug the pillow, to be comfortable in bed. Is there any ideas or?